Hi everybody, Chris Graham here from Graham Brothers Rifleworks. Today I'm going to take you through some of the finer points of our MARC Sport Chassis System. So, the MARC Sport is a modular rifle chassis system. What I mean by that is you get your base chassis system, which you drop, in this case we have our Remington 700 barreled action right into, and that base chassis lets you build off of it in all kinds of customizable configurations. So what do you get in the box? Well, you get the base chassis system, which is what mounts the receiver and barrel into the system. You get your choice of either A2 or carbine stock adapter. We have ours here outfitted with a red anodized carbine stock adapter. These are both available separately. You get your choice of each at time of purchase, but if your needs change, you can switch out to the other one separately later on. The chassis system accepts any AR-15 style grip, and in combination with our stock adapters, any AR-15 style stock. So that takes care of the back half of the rifle. Moving forward up the rifle, all of the systems take AICS style magazines, and all of them feature a centrally located magazine catch and release lever. So that keeps things ambidextrous. You don't have to worry about which side of the rifle your magazine release lever is on, and it adapts it to a very common and now becoming more affordable AICS style pattern magazine. Whether your rifle accepted magazines before or not, they will accept them with this system. Now moving up to the front end of the chassis, you'll notice various mounting holes. There are 4 unthreaded holes that are straight through and 3 threaded holes. The 3 threaded holes serve 2 purposes. First is they accept a standard bipod stud, so you can run your bipod right on the chassis system, or if you opt for the $99 Arca Swiss rail, you can mount that up using those 3 holes and the provided screws. This lets you run Arca Swiss style accessories on the front, whether it be bipods, tripod mounts, bags, whatever type of system, it's out there in Arca. We've got you covered on that aspect. Now the other 4 through holes are for mounting our handguard options. So we have here our m-lok handguard, which mounts using those 4 through holes. The handguard itself is constructed of aluminum, and it has steel helicoil inserts for mounting, so it's very strong and very rigid. It has m-lok all the way around it, as well as QD swivels at the front and rear, so if you want to run a QD sling or any other accessory that fits in that hole, that's an option as well. As you can see here, the rear section of it is carved away to allow for large scope bells to be run on short rings. A lot of other systems have a full-length rail, you have to run very tall rings, and you're limited on your objective size. This lets you keep everything nice and close, tight to the bore, so things stay more accurate, more in line. So now that we've talked about ways to accessorize your rifle, let's talk about the base chassis itself. Now the chassis, one of the first things you'll notice is it's ambidextrous. So that means it takes left and right-handed receivers. So it's cleared away for left and right-handed bolts, and it comes with this nice little block-off plate, which is highlighted in red on the chassis here, which you use to fill the hole of whichever side you're not using. So if you're using a right-hand bolt, we have this block-off plate on the left-hand side. Left-hand bolt, block-off plate on the right-hand side. What that does is it just kind of cleans things up, makes it nice and tidy, so there's not space for things to fall into the receiver. Now it's also cleared away at the rear for left and right-handed safeties, so it doesn't matter which side the actual safety is on, the chassis will accommodate safeties on either side. Our chassis uses V-style bedding to mount the receiver to the chassis itself. So what that means is where the receiver touches the chassis, it's in a V shape. So what that does is it creates 2 points of contact along the receiver itself. This is good for several reasons. It keeps the receiver nice and straight because of the V style to it, and it doesn't influence it in any way because it's not bedded all over the place at different points on the stock. Also incorporated in the design is the ability to take up to a 3/8 of an inch recoil lug. So if you're running extra thick recoil lugs for precision shooting, or you've got some kind of crazy bedded action that you're going to be moving into the MARC Sport system, we can accommodate that as well. Forward of the recoil lug, the barrel is completely free-floated. So that allows the barrel to be more accurate because it's not being influenced by any of the handguard or anything forward of that. It also allows the barrel to cool better because there's nothing else touching it, it's got air all the way around it. So that helps improve your accuracy as well. One of the features unique to the Savage models is that we can utilize either the traditional top-mounted bolt release lever or the Savage bolt release lever that's in front of the trigger guard. So on the Savage models of our chassis, you'll notice that there's a small relief cut that allows you to operate the bolt takedown lever on models that typically have it in front of the trigger guard. So hopefully today I answered your questions on the MARC Sport Chassis System and showed you how you can take a relatively pedestrian rifle and turn it into a multi-use versatile tool. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and check out gbrifleworks.com for more information. You can also contact our friendly sales staff if you have any other questions. Thank you for watching. I'm Christopher Graham.